Hello everyone, it's Rita here, and I have a video that I'm planning here, and it was kind of a spin-off from the Roxy Creation video I did yesterday, her weekly challenge, and I don't know what I did. Oh, here's the rest of it. Anyway, I made these little notebooks, and I put paper in it, and I tied a signature in there with some notebook paper. And then these here I still need to put backs on, but I pulled these out. Oh, and then I have this one here that I made just a journal card with. I also need backing on that. I've just wasted so much time trying to do something this morning. So my thought was, I don't know how many times wanted to make a fabric envelope. I just thought it would be so nice to have something like that different in your journal. I mean, you could even sew it in if you chose to. But the thing was, is it sturdy enough? I put tissue in here. That's how I glued it all to the tissue. And then I sewed around all of the pieces, the flaps. I'm wondering if I take this out, what would happen? So I may go ahead and try that. If something happens where it doesn't lay down, okay, because once you put something in it, it's going to get sturdier. Okay. I didn't get the exact right size for this card. I actually had to cut some off, and it's still not quite right. But it's really hard to figure them out on that. Well, I can figure it out, but, you know, on the punch board. But it's a little confusing because over here you have like 4 by 5, and then over here you have 5. It just... like here's 5.5 by 8, but here's 4 by 5. Anyway, so I don't always get the right numbers, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna try and figure it out again. I mean, I've done it a million times. I just can't ever figure it out when I need it right. So let me show you kind of how I did that. The first thing I did was, well, I decided, this one is going to go in here. I decided on what size envelope I need. And what I wrote down, I don't know that it works, so I'm just going to measure this one. It's 4 inches. By 4, almost by 5, so 4 by 5. So do they have a 4 by 5? Yes, they do. Okay, let me just write it somewhere. Okay, so 4 by 5 envelope. Paper size is 7.5 by 7.5, and the score line, I can't even see this, so I need to write it bigger, is 3 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to use this tissue paper, which is from, you know, the dollar store, and it's the kids tissue paper. This one might be from a regular stationery store, but you can get the same thing at the Dollar Tree. I was going to say dime store. Do you remember the dime store when everybody called it the dime store? Funny. Okay. So, I was watching a documentary on Hobby Lobby and about his business and all that kind of stuff, and they showed pictures of like a little mall, and there was a TG&Y in the mall, And that's where I used to buy so many things, crafts and that, and sewing, all my fabric. Okay, what size? Okay, 7.5. So, there's a very glare on this. Okay, 7.5 by 7.5. And these pages are usually 9, let's see, what is it? 9 by 12. These scrapbook pages. I mean, tracing page. I can't even talk today. I've already worn myself out and I just started. Okay, so the way I did it was I picked a piece of fabric that I thought was going to be big enough. So let me turn it this way. It might be a little easier because I'm going to go over it, leave a little bit, and then I'm going to trim it off. Maybe I don't need to trim all of that, but so I need to cut it though. I don't want to work with this big a piece of fabric. Let's just cut it here for now. That should be the right amount. Yesterday, when I was at Hobby Lobby and I bought some fabric, I thought, you know, why don't they tear it? They're sitting there trying to cut the fabric with, do it up there. Okay, I'm going to glue this down because I don't think it has to be permanently stuck down. So I would not use fabric tack or that kind of thing, because that will seep through, and this is not very thick. That's why I wanted to use tracing paper, because if I decide I want to pull it out, I can. They're always working with scissors. I hope my head's not in the way. This is not. That don't cut. I don't know how they make these people work with those kind of scissors. I should have got my rotary cutter out for this. Okay, let me just make sure this is kind of... Let me use my little one for this. I'm using my glue. I just want to glue this so when I cut around it, it'll be stable. Should have got a book page out so I could go right to the edge, but I didn't. All right, these are my horrible scissors. They're still sharp. They're my fabric scissors, but they never were right from the day one that I bought them, which is quite a while now ago. Because there's like some, there's like stiff, and I put oil in there and everything, but you can't unscrew them. Like in the old days, we could unscrew the scissors and loosen them up a little bit, or tighten them up, whatever you needed. I just can't, I don't like those at all. And then all my other fabric scissors, I've turned those into paper scissors, so. Probably should get my big bigger Tim Holtz. Because it cuts fabric pretty good. I also thought you could, you know, maybe use pinking shears or something if you don't want to sew. I'm sorry, I didn't know this was so tedious and would take so long. Jeez. I think I'm going to get my rotary cutter out for the next one. It's too much work. All right, so now we have that. And we need to put it in here and score it. So this works nice because you can score on that, and I wasn't sure if you could, but you can. So my score is going to be 3.5. So 3. We're not going to punch it. I can't punch fabric. I tried. 3.5 is right about there. So we're just going to use this as our guide. Okay. Just like you would any other envelope. If you have the envelope maker, if you don't, you can go to one of those websites where they tell you how to make an envelope without. I think Corey Dahman has one. I've made them a few times, but I forget how, and then I've got to go find her video and and learn how to do it again. Okay. Now, since we didn't punch, we're going to have to extend these lines, and I'm going to use a pen here, or pencil, or use a pen. So I'm going to lay this here, and I know you probably really can't see it, but I'm just going to go and do this so I can get that corner, because I have to cut it out. I can see the line where I scored, but this doesn't write so well on here because it's tissue paper. You could use, if you don't have tissue paper, you probably could use baking sheet paper, wax paper maybe, just something. I was going to use regular paper, like a printed, but then I wanted to take the paper out if I wanted to. Okay, so now we're just going to cut these like this out, and it's still glued down. And the one thing about having some paper on the inside is it'll be easier to slip your journal card or whatever you're going to put inside of it easier. You know, because otherwise it'll probably catch on the fabric. So I pulled this fabric out because it matches this little fabric on this notebook. I don't even know that those need an envelope, but the other ones I had were tags and stuff, so I picked those. Okay, so now that's ready to go, and what I'm going to do is sew around all of this with a zigzag stitch. I'm probably going to sew it from this side. The stitching always looks nicer when you sew on the side that you want to show. And if you sew it upside down, then you get these kind of weird looking stitches on the other side. And it's probably because we're sewing through paper. If we were sewing through fabric, I mean both sides fabric, you wouldn't probably be able to tell. Okay, let me put you on pause and I'm going to sew around this. Hold on. Okay, I have sewed around all of this, and I'm going to fold it in, and fabric, you know, has that memory in it, so it stays pretty well. Once you know, put this part down, it's going to stay where you put it, pretty much. And then, if you want to iron it out, forget it. You can't hardly get it out. You have to go wash you have to put the fabric in, soak it in water, and try to get because it does have a great memory. Okay, then we're going to fold this one up. Let's see if we can get that lined up a little better. And I left this point up here. I think I like it that way. I mean, a lot of times I'll cut that off or fold it under or something. Okay, so there's our envelope. So let's see, is this going to fit in that? I'm not gluing it yet. Okay, so that works. Now, I have to decide whether to tear the paper off or not. And if you didn't want to tear it off, you could ink around this. You could stamp inside here. Then I thought you could put an eyelet here and run some ribbon around it if you want to do that. Or you could glue it down to your page. Okay, so I'm going to try and rip the paper out of this one. Because I just think that I could use this for anything, even if it didn't work. So let's just try. I need something to, well, I guess I can use a needle because I want to. Now, this has been glued down, so I think it'll come up. Just letting it go where it wants. Now here, I think I'm going to take my little ruler and I'm going to hold it there so it'll rip. Whoops. It's stuck there. Right there. I mean, this might be a little tedious. I don't want to pull any stitches out. I have so many things to do, and I came in here to try to just end up with, because I haven't uploaded yesterday's video, Roxy's video, but I needed to take pictures of the things that I did, and then this brainstorm came because I wanted to finish the tags up a little bit more, because I didn't work on them anymore yesterday. Had too many fun things I had to put my thrift store stuff away and Hobby Lobby stuff. I bought several fall flowers for, I thought, well, if Hobby Lobby can start fall, I can too. But I don't know. I usually wait till after Labor Day, because that's the last, because I have a few patriotic things out, and that's the last holiday, patriotic holiday for the year, Labor Day. All right, I hope I can get this to come out easy enough. This may not be the best thing to do. Yeah, this is going to take too long. The only other thing, I could wet it, and then it would, because this is, I feel like it's going to pull the stitches out. Okay, well, I can do this later on my time. See, usually if it's perforated, it would break away from there, but then again, I put glue on the edges, so it's not just... Seems like I've done this before and taken it out really easy. Maybe it's not as, maybe I didn't have a zigzag. I might have had a straight stitch. So it was more perforated than this one is. Okay, I'm just going to leave that, but let's just see. Most of it you wouldn't see anyway, right? It'll be inside. See all that you wouldn't see. This part you will. So, okay, let's put this inside. I do want to glue this, but I don't want it to get the stuff out first. Paper. All right, well, let me just lay this in. Put that there. I'm going to use some Sobo glue. Okay, where are you, glue? There you are. I'm not going to glue that down, so I can take this part out. It'll just take a minute more time. See if I can get... I need those little baby scissors. Okay, I'll figure it out. Why do I have to have issues of sorts? Okay, so make sure that's kind of centered. And I'm just going to put my... Probably should put paper inside of this in case it soaks through. Oh, you're just going to be difficult. Once it goes, it's good. Just getting it to go. I don't know if I went too high on that. So let that dry. And then this, you know, flops over. And then when you have the journal card in there, or whatever you put in it, you'll have the stability that you need, right? So I like that. You can have, well, I glued it already. I was just thinking about the other way. I feel like this is not quite centered. So if I put an eyelid in here and tried to wrap it and it doesn't have anything up there, that might not work. So I'm trying to think of a different, I could use Velcro as a closure. Or I don't even think you need to worry about it because it's floppy and it just stays by itself. All right, so this one, how much time have I spent? Okay, this one, I'm going to leave the paper on it. I'm going to ink around it. I'm going to stencil in here or stamp. I kind of like just stamping. Let me see if I can find a stamp with some words. Oops. I don't know how these bubbles look. I don't know. Unless I'm doing like a Tim Holtz design, I don't like bubbles and that kind of stuff. Making a mess of these. They've got to be put on better. I guess this one is just not very big. I have this one, but I use it so much that I get bored with it. I have these Tim Holtz. Oh, these are numbers though. Let's see if I have word. Okay, this is words. This is like and here's some script. Maybe I'll try these. Let's see if I like it. And I guess I should probably, I can't tell if it's upside down or not. I guess I have to stamp it off to see. I think I'm going to need a brown color. Let's see what. Sometimes I can't tell. I guess it's meant to be like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just use it. just... This doesn't want to stay on my thing either. So I don't mind the paper in it. I think it kind of feels cool. It's kind of crinkly. All right, let me glue this one. I got up early this morning. I didn't want to, but I couldn't go back to sleep. So, okay, this one might be okay to put an eyelet and wrap ribbon. This is rather plain, actually, but it's got to sit. Takes this glue a little time to dry, like fabric tack does. Okay. Let's see. Do I have enough time for an eyelet? Yep. Should I put an eyelet? Because I don't think this is going to like slide in very easily to something. Trying to think how I could just make it so that it would tie. Yeah, I think I'll just make an eyelet. One good thing about eyelet is you can punch through your fabric. You just can't punch through tissue paper. Just kidding. All right. Excuse me, arm there. My fat arm. Keep gaining weight. I gotta stop eating. Ever since my mom passed away, I've just... Okay, so that is a little eyelet. Did I punch a big hole or a little hole? I think it was big. If I want to put ribbon or something, I'm going to have bigger. Okay. Yeah, I just, my brother, my mom, just all the commotion and we'll see. I have a doctor's appointment Wednesday and wait for them to yell at me. Okay. Now, what do I want to string through that? Oh, I don't know, maybe twine. Where was I going to put this in? Oh, I don't think I have a journal for this yet. So actually I could put anything. If I can remember how to do it right. This. I don't like the way that does with fabric. This is a cleaner one, but I think I'd rather have some binding in it. Oh, I could use that brown. No, it's like, this is like a very dark brown. I'm gonna have to keep it neutral. I don't know if I'm supposed to go in it this way, or do I need to go in this way? I don't know, try this way and see. I think that's the way it goes. Give myself a little more room here. Need to dye some more of this white. That's probably enough. I don't know. It's all tangled up. So yeah, you can't pull it really tight, but I put that journal card in there. It'll give it more strength. This will probably look nice in a fall journal. String. Okay, so it doesn't go that way. It goes, this has got to go through the other way. I don't know if it matters. If I put it through so that this is over the top. Is what I'm looking at. No. Nope, that's not it either. Okay, well, yeah, that works. I guess it just didn't feel right. That works. It's a little better. I still thought if I could get it to come over the top of that. I mean, there's seems like that's the way I could do it, but I don't know. I can't figure it out. So anyway, that is the fabric envelope, and I do like the crunchy. Now, if I was to do it again, like on this color, I would use the baker's paper, parchment, or whatever they call it. For one, mine is brown, so that would look nice, but it would also give it that nice little crinkly feel. Alrighty, so that's it, guys. This one is not going to have any left on it, and I mean, I really feel you have to have that stabilization in order to make the card or make the envelope. You know what I mean? Without it, you know, because paper has so much bias and that kind of, not paper, but fabric has so much bias in it that when you start scoring it like that, it'll get wonky on you. But this looks pretty good. And I like it. I don't like it. It's not double-sided. All right. So that's my little trick for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching me do this and give it a try. I mean, it's kind of time consuming, so so how much time do you want to spend? That's the thing. But I like unique stuff like this in my journals if I can figure out something that's different from the norm. I'm gonna have to look back. I have something just like this that Roxy did, and I wrapped it around and it worked out. So I don't know if that's still it. Maybe it's because this is not square. Anyway, okay guys, so I will see you in the next video. Bye!